Good morning, Kenosha. How are you today? How was your weekend? I hope you had a great weekend. Our weekend wasn't too bad. We went to Six Flags on Saturday, spent some time with mother and sister-in-law um, before the mother-in-law's surgery today. She's having a knee replacement, so send her some prayers, some healing prayers. Hope it goes well. I'm sure it'll be fine for her. And yeah, had some showings over the weekend. They went okay. It's still a really fast-moving market. Put some offers in for our buyers. Unfortunately, we'll talk more about that a little later in the video. But if you're thinking about buying or selling here in Kenosha, we'll have some good news and some bad news for you. It's still a really fast-moving market here in Kenosha. It's still a deep seller's market. So if you're a buyer, you need to be prepared. Be prepared to put that offer in right away. But if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest here, give us a call or shoot us a text at 262-331-1621. Ollie and I help buyers and sellers and investors just like you every single week, and we can't wait to help you too. Or contact us at any of the information down here in the description of the video. We can't wait to help you. Now let's go ahead and dive into this market report. Let's see here. We want to share the screen. We want this one. I actually did it pretty fast this time. So as usual here, we start at the market action index number is at 64. It actually dropped this week. It was at 65 last week. It is down to 64 this week. So what's that mean? Well, it means that we're still in a red hot seller's market. It just means that it's kind of leveling off a little bit cooler, just a tiny little bit cooler. It means that you still have to be prepared if you're a buyer to make that offer right away. You can't dilly-dally on it. You can't go home and think about it overnight, because there's still 5, 10, 15 other buyers, if the house is moving ready and beautiful, that will make that offer right away. You have to have that pre-approval. You have to have that proof of funds. You have to be ready to move on that house right away, because there are plenty of other buyers that are ready to move on that house right away. We're still in a really strong seller's market here in the Kenosha Racing area and even Northern Illinois area, which is where I'm also licensed to in Illinois. If you're looking to buy or sell in Illinois too, I can help you out there. So if you are looking to buy now, the Kenosha Racing area is still in a super red hot seller's market. We'll probably see this market action index number here stay around the 64, 65 number for the rest of the summer. It may jump up to 70-ish throughout the summer, just because as summer goes on, competition tends to get hotter and inventory tends to go down a little bit. But it'll probably stay right around this 60 to 70 mark throughout summer. I don't see it going too much one way or another throughout the rest of summer. But nobody's that crystal ball, so we'll see what ends up happening. So let's go over here to prices. So the median list price, this is everything that's on the market right now, is at $367,450, so $367,500. It is down from $400,000 last week. So a little bit of a drop, almost a $30,000 drop, a little more than a $30,000 drop. Pretty significant. So prices have softened a little bit from last week, but it still reflects a strong buyer demand. So buyers still want houses. Buyers are still buying up houses. I'm still seeing buyers put in at asking and over asking. Still seeing multiple offers. Still seeing buyers, at showings, multiple showings, overlapping showings. Open houses, still seeing lines outdoors for open houses. The dip could signal motivated sellers, more price-conscious buyers. Just saying that, sellers. So what I'm seeing out there is that the houses that were priced at that $400,000 level, they were kind of sitting a little bit. So in order to entice buyers, they had to drop the price a little bit to that $360,000, $370,000 range, and all of a sudden they were selling. For whatever reason, maybe that's just the mark where buyers kind of drew their line in the sand and said, I'm not buying a penny over $360,000. And then all of a sudden, the sellers drop their price, and all of a sudden they would buy it. So I'm kind of seeing that where sellers drop the price to a certain level, and all of a sudden houses are selling. Median price of new listings here, so it's everything that came on the market, it was at $274,900. It is a drop from $284,900, so a $10,000 drop. It's just everything that new came on the market, a median price of everything new that came on the market. So basically an average of everything that came on the market. So sellers are having to drop their price a little bit of new listings just because buyers aren't paying quite as much the last couple weeks actually. Buyers are a little more price conscious. They aren't paying quite as much. I think buyers are they're fed up with the higher prices in the market is what I'm seeing. They don't want to pay outrageous prices. Everything in the world is going up in price. They don't want to continue to pay outrageous prices for houses. So if they can get away with a little bit of a better deal for a house, they're trying to. And we're seeing that in housing prices right now. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think, sellers are still generally making a pretty good deal on their housing prices, and buyers are getting a pretty good deal. Price per square foot's down to $199, down from $216 last week. As we see prices of houses go down, we'll see the price per square foot go down as well. Average days on market is down to 85, down from 106. That is part of the reason as to why we're still in a strong seller's market, because days on market continues to trend down. We'll probably see days on market continue to trend down throughout the summer because houses are still selling really fast. Houses generally, if they're move-in ready, we're seeing them sell within the first day or two. Typically, you don't see a house in the market if it's priced right, if it's move-in ready. Typically, it'll sell within the first week or two at the longest. Even faster if it's really move-in ready and it's really popular, it'll sell within the first 2 or 3 days. But if it's staying in the market for longer than 2 or 3 weeks, then usually there's some kind of issue with the house or something that buyers are seeing wrong with the house, or it's just grossly overpriced. So if your house is staying on the market for longer than 2 or 3 weeks, then the buyers are telling you that there's something wrong with the house. And I don't know what that is. I'd have to see your house to tell you what that could possibly be. Or you'd have to ask buyers, what are you seeing that's wrong with my house? Why aren't you putting an offer in? Have your realtor reach out to possible buyers that have looked at your house and see what they're saying, see what kind of feedback they have. Median days on market here is at 18, up a little bit from 14 from last week. We'll probably see median days on market stay right around this 15 to 20 days throughout the summer, just because it can't get too much lower than 14. And we'll probably see this stay right around this for the rest of the summer, just because it can't, like I said, it can't get too much lower than 14. And we are seeing houses sell really fast right now. Price decreases are at 30. It is down from 31% last week, so not much of a change there. But I would like to see this right around that 15% mark, so hopefully this continues to trend downwards. I don't like to see a lot of price decreases because it tells me that sellers are pricing their houses a little bit too high to begin with. And, price decreases just means that sellers are pricing their houses. We're seeing a third of sellers right now adjusting their prices right now to meet demands in the market to entice buyers to come and buy their houses. Which means that when the sellers, a third of the market right now, when they put their house on the market, they're expecting a certain amount for their house, and they're not getting that amount, so they had to decrease the price to entice buyers to come and put an offer in their house. That is an uncomfortable conversation for the realtor to have, and then 2, information that the seller doesn't not want to hear, because the realtor has to come in and tell them, we're not having any showings, we're not getting any offers. Unfortunately, we have to lower the price to entice more buyers to come in and take a look at your house and hopefully put an offer in. Sellers don't want to hear that. Sellers usually blame the realtors because we're not doing our job. Even though we are probably doing our job and everything that we probably can do, maybe we can do a little more marketing to market the house. I don't know. Every realtor is different. But, Ollie and I, we have a really fantastic marketing program that a lot of realtors in our area don't do. But why your house isn't selling, I don't know. I can't tell you because every house is different. But why your house needs a price adjustment and why there's no offers, I can't tell you because every house is different. But it makes sellers a little upset because, like I said, they expected a certain amount for the house when they put it on the market. Now all of a sudden they have to lower that price and they're going to net a different amount than what they originally expected. So price decreases, I don't like to see them super high because it's an uncomfortable conversation for the realtors to have, and it upsets the sellers because they expected one thing and now they're going to get something different. Price increases is at 0%, which is good. It means that, realtors aren't having to list the house and make a mistake and go back and change that. Builders aren't listing a house for one price and then change it and relist it at a higher price. So that's at 0%, a good number. I like to see that at 0%. Relisted, so the number of houses that are listed and then expire for whatever reason, and then have to be relisted with either with the same realtor. In our market, we tend to see listings that expire are listed with the same realtor. I'm not sure why that happens. I think it's out of a sense of loyalty. Personally, I would, if my house was expired and it didn't sell that realtor, I would probably list it with another realtor and try their marketing. Because obviously, if it didn't sell with the first realtor, that first realtor didn't do anything to sell my house, I would try listing it with a different realtor. But I don't know. People in our market tend to list it with the same realtor for whatever reason. Everybody's different though, so it just is what it is. But it's at 11% right now this week. It is down from 13.3% last week. So that's getting a little bit better. I do like to see this right around 10%, so I'm not going to complain about that. It's actually pretty good. Number of relisted listings. Inventory is up to 54. That is actually pretty good for the kind of market we're in right now. This is just, again, for the city of Kenosha. This is not including the county. If we include the county, we're up to like 130, 150 houses, active houses you can go out and buy right now. That's all of Kenosha County. When you include Racine in Racine County, then we're up to like 300 houses. When you include Racine County, though, so that's like another 150. So when you include both counties, then we have a pretty decent amount of houses to buy. If you're looking at both counties to buy, I know most people aren't. Most people are looking in very specific areas. If you're looking just in the city of Kenosha, it's at 54. I know most people are looking in Pleasant Prairie, Summers, and Kenosha. If you add in Pleasant Prairie and Summers, you can probably add in another 10 or 15 houses of this. So you're probably looking at 70-ish houses that are available, active right now. Maybe 65 houses, maybe not even a total. Something like that. I'd have to go back and check for sure. But it's something like that. But just in the city of Kenosha right now, it's at 54. If you add in Pleasant Prairie and Summers, you can probably add in another 10 or 15 that are active right now that are not under contract. Median rent right now went up to $2,050. Not much of an increase, up from $2,000 last week. So if you watch this for rent prices, not much of a change. Again, the market action index number is at 64. The chart, I looked at the median list price here. You can see it's been going up. It's kind of leveling off right now the last few weeks. I expect this to kind of level off as we head into the summer months. It'll probably level off as we head into summer. I'm not 100% sure on this. Typically in June, July, and August, we see it continue to trend upwards. But this year's been kind of a weird year so far. So if you believe all the experts, they say that it'll probably continue to trend upwards. But I'm kind of thinking that in our market, it'll probably level off a little bit. We'll probably see home prices stay about the same. Maybe climb up just a little bit, but I don't think they'll go up too much more. Just because I don't think they can go up too much more. I don't think people in our market can afford too much more home prices. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. In the market segments here, you can see why inventory went up this past week, because there are more homes that were listed than what were sold here. And the days on market here, this is the average days on market of what everything has been sitting on the market for. I'll just leave this here for you guys to check out. If you guys have any questions at all, hope you guys found this useful. If you did, go ahead and drop it down here in the comments. Let me know what you guys found useful. Then let me know what you guys are seeing out there in the market. Let me know what you guys are seeing out there in the market. If you guys are seeing more buyers, if you guys are seeing more sellers. If you guys are seeing house prices go up, if you're a buyer, if you're a seller now, if you're thinking about doing something now, if you're waiting it out, or if you're just a Zillow surfer in your pajamas during the day, everything's okay. Nothing's wrong. Again, Ali and I help buyers, sellers, and investors just like you every single week. We're here to help you out with anything that you need help with. Give us a call or send us a text at 262-331-1621. Happy to help out. Or contact us at any of the information down below here in the description of the video. I hope they have a fantastic rest of the week, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.